again, you know, for 3 years I was saying to you that this fight shouldn't be because the weights are wrong. I said I can't, I'll never be proved wrong because I am standing.
Yeah, I wanted no because I thought it was a bitch move. I really did.
Have you spoken?
I would never. If you chin someone at a presser, if you do that, it's different. But when you carry something on the stage to hit someone around the face with, I weren't mad on it. That's all.
But it does sell the fight.
Yeah,
and it's an absolutely
the fight's going to sell anyway, Charlie. Yeah, it's going to add pay-per-view buys. It's going to be an instant sellout. Blah blah blah. All of that. But I mean, I don't. For me, I don't like the way that it was like planned. Do you know what I mean? Just don't know. Just.
Have you spoke to Ben after? Obviously, people are clipping up that little bit of you.
Are they? Have you got it?
Yes, I do. I do have the clip here.
Because I looked at him and I just thought, you know about this.
Ben has since said that he does condone it.
Condone what?
The egg. It doesn't condone it, sorry. So you have fully shoved Ben
Not
it. What's your communication been with him?
No, I just told him, I believe you knew.
Chris Eubank Jr. has been forced to cancel his highly anticipated rematch with Conor Benn after a dramatic intervention from his father, Chris Eubank Sr., who issued a stern warning about the dangers his son was facing. Eubank Sr.'s concerns revolve around health, particularly the severe...
Wait. Dehydration is dangerous.
I totally understand your point, but the fighters don't think about the...
I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about the fighters because no one's listening. I'm talking about the fighters who are watching these two fighters. Watch what happens. These
risks tied to dehydration and extreme weight cutting. And despite Eubank Jr.'s burning desire to step into the ring, his father's experience, authority, and deep sense of responsibility have thrown the entire event.
I just want to get my hands on him. I've got my hands on him now. I've beaten him. So now it's kind of like, all right, well, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it even better. Let's see what happens, It's a different energy.
Do you see yourself knocking him out this time around?
I think so.
Into jeopardy, creating intense tension within Team Eubank just days before fight night. A boxing legend in his own right, Eubank Sr. made it clear he would not stand by and watch his son gamble with his long-term well-being for the sake...
Yeah, you've seen me get up in a fight I can't win and walk back into the fire. You can trust me. I'm not going to give you any... I'm not going to mislead you.
...of one night of glory. His decision, though controversial, comes from decades spent witnessing the sport's most unforgiving realities. He has repeatedly stressed that sometimes the smartest move a fighter can make is to walk away. Because for him, this is...
Yeah, if you think bad things, next say, oh, I'm sorry. Listen, you must think before, think what after.
It isn't just about a single bout. It's about his son's future health and legacy. Yet Eubank Jr. remains fired up. He insists he has already proven he is superior to Ben and is determined to demonstrate it even more convincingly. His words reflect not only confidence, but a deep hunger to show the world that he is still the better man.
Conor is a far better fighter than Chris Eubank Jr. is a boxer.
Technically, yeah.
And that's the problem that Chris Eubank Jr. is having. He's got this thing in his mind, he's a masterful boxer. No, you're not.
No.
I'm sorry, no, you're not.
According to him, the energy surrounding this rematch feels different, more intense, more personal. He believes this time he can stop Ben decisively. His focus, his discipline, and his preparation, he says, are at their absolute peak. And while he understands his father's caution, he believes...
I live for this. I've had the fight over 100 times in my head. For me, it's just focusing on the training, removing myself from my comfort zones, my familiarities, my family, and, fully dialing in. I'm not going to allow myself to Chris and go back and forth and, all that PR's done. I'm excited to get in there and put my hands on him Saturday night.
He believes it underestimates his readiness and dismisses how far he has come. Eubank Sr. refuses to budge. He has seen far too many fighters suffer tragic, irreversible consequences after forcing their bodies past the point of safety. He has no intention of letting his son join that list. What's unfolding is an emotion.
You know, I could get hurt in spars with guys, but after I sparred you once, I know how to deal with you for the rest of my life. And with Conor, it's no different. I know his weaknesses, I know his strengths, I know his capabilities.
Emotional tug of war between father and son, one fueled by experience versus ambition, wisdom versus willpower. And with the fight only a week away, every moment of uncertainty adds to the pressure. At a time like this, Eubank Jr. has to stay mentally sharp. As Alexander Usyk once said, negative thinking.
He was 20% and he still looked shit. He threw maybe 2 punches around. Please explain to me how you want to give yourself credit. Are you really happy about that?
Can destroy a fighter long before the opening bell. That advice feels especially relevant now. Eubank Jr. cannot afford to let doubt, conflict, or outside noise disrupt his rhythm. He has to trust in his preparation, his mental discipline, and the lessons from every battle.
And so this fight can only harm him. Because that was a hard fight, the first one. This one will be another hard fight, whoever wins, unless there's a real freak occurrence, not freak occurrence, unless someone gets caught with the shot really early, then it's going to be a hard night. Which you still have to make Eubank the favourite again, like I did the first time.
He has fought. He believes he is more than ready for whatever Benn plans to bring. Tony Bellew has chimed in with his own provocative view, suggesting Eubank Jr. may be overconfident and perhaps even underestimating Benn's improvements. But Bellew's criticism arguably misses the mark. Eubank Jr. has long been recognized for his intelligence and adaptability inside the ring. He is not someone who relies purely on bravado. Even if Benn has...
For me to ask you, but I'm going to ask it anyway, Bomac. Is there any way you can see that Conor Benn beats your guy?
No, I can't, for the simple fact that it's hard to beat the guy that already didn't beat you. I mean, I can see that Chris is beating him at everything. The press conference, the stare downs, the fight. To me, he got his number, you know. And I think he's going to be in a better position coming into this next fight because Chris
sharpened his technique. Eubank Jr.'s experience, composure, and mental toughness give him the ability to control a fight's tempo and dictate its rhythm. This rematch isn't just about skill. It's about timing, heart, and the ability to exploit an opponent's weaknesses under pressure. Benn's aggression, energy, and intensity are undeniable, but Eubank Jr. has something Benn does not, an instinctive understanding of the razor-thin margins that decide elite-level contests.
Yet,
do you think Conor Benn will be better in the second fight?
Yes.
Does that mean that you think that by him being better and there's no more left from Chris Eubank, that Conor Benn's able to bridge the gap and get an outcome in his second fight?
Without a doubt.
You do?
He couldn't have done any more. If he could have knocked out Conor in that fight, he would have done.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get rid of him. And Conor stuck it. So regardless of him being surprised that Conor stuck it out a lot more.
He's been through wars, faced top opponents, and learned how to maintain clarity even when the fight turns chaotic. Benn, for his part, is fully locked in. He's been visualizing the fight, running through every possible scenario, determined to rewrite the narrative and redeem himself. His confidence seems to grow with each day. Yet Eubank Jr. remains unmoved. His calmness and self-assurance suggest a man who already sees the outcome. Benn may be driven by raw emotion, but Eubank Jr. has learned to refine his...
And I don't think at this stage Eubank can do a lot more else. You know, he'll try and do what he did, you know, on fight night. It's whether he can go so well again. I don't think so. If the fight becomes as hard and if it has the pace and ferocity of a first fight, I'd be very surprised and I'd be amazed if Eubank can...
his emotions into precision. Eubank Jr. enters this rematch with a crystal-clear understanding of Benn's strengths, flaws, and tendencies. The experience of their first encounter, combined with years competing at the sport's highest level, has sharpened his strategic awareness. He knows how to adjust mid-fight, how to frustrate an opponent into making mistakes, and how to seize control when the tension peaks. That's what makes him such a dangerous, calculating presence in the ring. Ben, meanwhile, appears increasingly agitated.
You have to follow the weight classes. You have to follow directions and orders. And, that's why we have weight classes. For 1 pound makes a huge difference. I mean, this guy was almost fainting trying to...
Confidence sometimes veers into arrogance, a dangerous line in boxing. His public criticisms of Eubank Jr. reveal hints of overthinking, signs that the pressure may be weighing on him more than he wants to admit. While Ben thrives on emotion and aggression, Eubank Jr. relies on patience and precision. That contrast could be decisive. Barry Jones has offered his own analysis, calling this one of the toughest rematches in recent British boxing history. He predicts a grueling, unforgiving fight in which...
Personally, I just think the last performance of Chris, I thought you've got nothing left. You've got nothing. There's no more improvement on what I'm seeing there. And I know there was a weight issue and all the build up to it. I thought there's no more improvement there.
Does that mean you think do you think Conor Benn will be better in the second fight?
Yes.
Does that mean that you think that by him being better and there's no more left from Chris Eubank, that Conor Benn's able to bridge the gap, get an outcome in the second fight?
Neither man escapes untested. But even he maintains that Eubank Jr. is the favorite. His mental strength, ring IQ, and ability to adapt give him an edge. He knows how to navigate adversity, how to recalibrate a plan in real time, and how to capitalize on even the smallest errors. His calm, methodical way of fighting allows him to take control not through brute power, but through intelligence. Brian Bomack McIntyre echoed these views.
Right, and I think Eubank Jr., if he gets this win, and there's a new lease of life maybe under Bomack, 2026, maybe finally he could become a world champion. But he's got to get past Conor Benn first, and Conor Benn, not just hungry for revenge, he believes he can win this because of what happened first time round, because he went 12 rounds at middleweight, up in class, after a long layoff. Some people fancy Benn in this.
Pointing out that Ben already had his chance and failed to overcome Eubank Jr. And crucially, Eubank Jr. now knows exactly what to expect. Even outside the ring, Eubank Jr. seems to hold the psychological upper hand. From the press conferences to the stare-downs, he carries himself with a quiet, commanding confidence, projecting dominance.
I thought it wouldn't do Eubank favours his dad being there. Dad loves me, so I thought this ain't going to be good senior there for Chris. So people going, oh, when...
Long before any punches are thrown. A single punch can change everything, but sometimes the fight is decided long before that punch is thrown. Chris Eubank Jr. carries an aura that can break an opponent's resolve before the opening bell, and many believe that advantage could be decisive once again. Johnny Nelson has argued that, while Conor Benn may show improvement, Eubank Jr. has...
Like I say, the fight wasn't a letdown because it was a good fight, but as an event, you won't get a better event than that, and they'll have to go some actually to surpass that, or even equal that. Let's just hope they get the same turnout in terms of the numbers, people going through the live gate and watching that fight, because it was a great event. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. You won't get world title fights that actually are
already demonstrated he knows how to handle him. He has revealed every weapon in his arsenal and understands how to execute when the pressure rises. Ben's aggression, Nelson warns, could be his undoing because Eubank Jr. excels when opponents overcommit. He turns their ambition into opportunity. Dave Caldwell raised an interesting point about the presence of Eubank Sr. at ringside. He suggested it...
Don't think at this stage Eubank can do a lot more else. He'll try and do what he did, on fight night. It's whether he can go so well again. I don't think so. If the fight becomes as hard and if there's the pace and ferocity of a first fight, I'd be very surprised and I'd be amazed if Eubank can...
Might not benefit Eubank Jr., noting that the emotional dynamic between father and son could complicate matters on fight night. Still, even with uncertainty, Caldwell's comments reflect a level of respect. He knows Eubank Jr. possesses the tools and the mental resilience to rise when it matters most. One of Eubank Jr.'s greatest strengths has always been his composure, his ability to adjust mid-fight, stay calm under fire, and refine his tactics as the rounds unfold. Promoter and analyst Eddie Hearn has added his perspective, emphasizing a key contrast. Ben often relies on heart and aggression, while Eubank Jr. fights with calculation. Hearn believes this difference makes Eubank Jr. the more dangerous man. If Ben tries to walk him down as he has in the past, he could be playing directly into Eubank's strategy. The more reckless Benn becomes, the more openings Eubank Jr. will find.